The Las Vegas Aces have gotten their groove back, and they got their first franchise triple-double, courtesy of Chelsea Gray. What is up, awesome people of the internet? We just saw the fourth matchup of the season between the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty. Now let's talk about this game. So as I mentioned, this was the fourth matchup, though technically it's the third, because the Commissioner's Cup didn't count as an official game on the season. So we saw Las Vegas give the New York Liberty some serious work. The game just finished, and I just wanted to make a video just sort of recapping generally my thoughts about this game. So the Las Vegas Aces won 88-75. And for the Aces, this game really was about a couple things. It was about defense. It was about making the extra pass. And most importantly, this game was about Chelsea Gray doing Chelsea Gray things. And for the Liberty, this game ended up being all about Sabrina Ionescu and Betnijah Laney. They handled their business today. And Stewie really was a non-factor. Stewie, and to a lesser extent, Jonquel Jones were kind of a non-factor in this game, which is what caused the New York Liberty to lose this game. So let's get into it a little bit. So the game started off with the Liberty having their feet on the gas. They started off with a 8-0 run. Jonquel Jones and Sabrina Ionescu got some quality threes. And Becky Hammon did what Becky Hammon does. She called one of her patented timeouts, and it was game on from there. Las Vegas got back in the game, and they never really truly let up from then on out. And it was really due to Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum. So the thing I really liked about the Aces is that they flipped the switch. And they were like, okay, it is game time. And Chelsea Gray was hitting some big buckets. Same thing with Kelsey Plum. And the thing I really liked about the Aces, and I saw Kelsey Plum do it a couple of times, is that they would drive to the basket. And instead of like in the last game, I think Kelsey went up against several players, driving to the basket. Instead of doing that, Kelsey passed the ball out. So she drove to the basket, passed the ball out. It was one instance, I think it was in the first quarter. Kelsey drove to the basket, passed the ball out, and then it was a secondary pass to I think it was Chelsea Gray, who then drove part way. And then got all the way to the basket. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that right, but it was this perfect play where there were two drives to the basket, and they were kickouts. And then Chelsea Gray ended up getting a wide open shot. And it was just kind of that kind of game where the Aces, they were doing that extra pass that you need to do against the New York Liberty. Because most likely you're not going to be able to score, just driving to the basket up against the trees. Though they did get a couple and ones this game. But I think the secondary passing was what really, really helped the Las Vegas Aces really get in this game. Also, they were just big buckets. We had Chelsea Gray and Kelsey Plum just score some big time shots. Jackie Young as well. So yeah, let's kind of go through it real quick. So when the Las Vegas Aces kind of got their groove back, they, as I said, never let off the gas. They ended up leading at the end of the first quarter, 25-21, and that was basically a game. The Aces won the rest of their quarters, ending the second quarter 53-40. The third quarter, they ended that 68-64, and of course, they finished the game 88-75. And again, as I said, the Aces partly won this game because of defense. They did a masterful job on Breanna Stewart and JJ, holding them to only 13 points and 8 points respectively. And it really was defense by committee. It really was. You had Alysha Clark, who was phenomenal. Alysha Clark, she's struggling to shoot. She really is. We all saw that in the Commissioner's Cup game, the last one, where it seemed like she missed like 7 threes in that last game. And today she wasn't that great shooting as well. She was 1 for 6 from 3. But it didn't matter because she showed up and showed out when it came to some defense. She was on Breanna Stewart for a good amount of the time, and she did a great job. Also, A'ja Wilson did a really good job on defense. Kiah Stokes and even Jackie Young was in there battling it out, trying to keep Stewie from going off. And I think the physicality that that the Aces had with Stewie and with Jonquel, I think that really, really helped. Really helped them secure the victory, because it was the defense that fueled their offense. When they would get big stops or big turnovers and whatnot, it kind of felt like it funneled itself into more engagement from the players and just bigger plays on the offensive end. And I don't know, I just really liked it. I thought their defense was phenomenal. I do think their defense was really good the last game also. But today it was sort of a marrying of the Aces defense and their offense. And also Becky Hammon just calling timeouts exactly when she's supposed to call timeouts, and then them adjusting and getting back into it. So yeah, that's kind of what I would say. Also, Chelsea Gray doing Chelsea Gray things. Y'all, let's talk about Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray has been a phenomenal player for a while now. I've been following her ever since she was with the Los Angeles Sparks, when her and Candace were teaming up. And Chelsea Gray has always just been super special. And the thing I like about Chelsea Gray is that, yes, she has the flashiness of like her passes and whatnot, but she is a solid floor general. Like, she just orchestrates everything when it comes to the Aces offensive end. And today she was like, I'm getting these rebounds today. Like, yeah, I just thought she was great. I don't think I've ever seen Chelsea as aggressive on the boards. Maybe I'm just forgetting. One, because it's like late at night. But I can't remember another time when Chelsea had 11 rebounds. Maybe y'all can check me in the chat. But I can't think of a time where she had that. So she finished the game with 22 points, 11 assists, and 11 rebounds. She was phenomenal, and also she was 45% from the field in terms of shooting. So yeah, again, Chelsea Gray doing Chelsea Gray things, making the right passes when she's supposed to. And also, she was the offensive spark. Chelsea Gray was just pulling up and she was hitting it. It was just really, really cool to see. Like when Chelsea gets in her bag and she just like gets that look in her eyes and she's like, yeah, I got this. Watch me, and she just does her thing. I think it's just really fun to see. It really is fun to see as just a fan of women's basketball, to watch Chelsea Gray do her thing. Also, Kelsey Plum was, pretty solid, making some really good buckets. She was 4 of 7 from 3. So overall, the team just did way better from 3 in this game, with the exception of Alysha Clark. Everybody else was significantly better from 3, and they just made their job easier by not jacking up as many terrible 3-point shots. Of course, There were a couple of transition threes that they shot and missed. I'm not sure what I think about transition threes. Like, sometimes I love transition threes, but then, like, if you do a transition three and you miss it, and then I'm like, oh, why did you do that? Even though, the best, to me, one of the best feelings in the world in terms of like being in the crowd is to watch your team shoot a transition three and just nail it. Like, to me, that's like one of the best things about like watching a game in person and seeing that. But then it's the worst thing in the world when you see your favorite team shoot a transition three and miss it, and then they don't get back, and then they give up points. So I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on whether or not transition threes are a good thing or a bad thing. If you have an opinion on that, let me know in the comments below. Okay, I am rambling. Overall, I thought the Aces did a really good job. A'ja Wilson bounced back. In the first quarter, she didn't really do anything. And she just started. She got to the foul line, and I think that got her going. She ended up scoring 21 points in this game. She had 8 rebounds as well. And she had 1 steal. So overall, I thought A'ja did a really solid job bouncing back and being a factor for this team, because, the Aces do not win this game had it not been for A'ja Wilson just getting the job done, getting to the basket, getting solid rebounds, and just doing what she could to try to hold Jonquel and Stewie to as little points as possible. So overall, I would say really good job for the Aces. Now into the Liberty. So I was actually surprised by how the Liberty played this game. After watching, the Commissioner's Cup game, I thought that the Liberty were going to win this game. So clearly I am really bad at guessing because the Commissioner's Cup game, I thought the Aces were going to win. This game, I thought the Liberty were going to win because I thought, okay, we're going to have Maureen Johannès get more minutes and score more points. And we're going to see Stewie back to Stewie form. And then Jonquel's going to continue to do her thing. That wasn't really the case. So Betnijah Laney was phenomenal today. I really, really liked Betnijah Laney. The last game, Betnijah was really off in the Commissioner's Cup game. But today, she had her foot on the gas. And she really, really helped out her team. She finished off with 17 points. She was 7 of 11 from the field. And she played 31 minutes. Betnijah Laney was a big spark for the New York Liberty. I thought she did a great job to try to carry the load while others were kind of struggling. Also, I thought Sabrina Ionescu, again, had a really good game. Sabrina, she could just shoot, man. I don't know. Maybe it's something about Michelob Ultra Arena that she just wants to light it up. She was 6 of 12 from 3, and she finished with 22 points. And Sabrina was just doing Sabrina stuff. She just decides, okay, I'm gonna start shooting, and then she just does her thing. I'm a fan of all the threes that she shoots, and it's also the sort of space that she shoots them in. Like she's not always like right on the line when she's shooting threes. She's just sort of like back a bit. I don't know. I thought she did a really good job. Maureen Johannès, I thought Maureen played fine. She wasn't lights out like she was in that Commissioner's Cup game. She just, she's 2 for 4 from 3. That was the only shots that she took were 3-pointers. I wished that she would have been in the game longer. So Maureen played 13 minutes and 47 seconds in this game. I wished that she would have played more because I think she would have been able to produce more and give the Liberty a bit more of a boost. So, for example, I would have put Marine Johannès in for Sloot a good amount of the game. Yes, Sloot was, decent. I mean, she did not in terms of scoring wise, but like in terms of like passing and stuff, like she was pretty solid. But in this game, the New York Liberty needed a little bit more shooting. So I really would have, I would have put in Marine Johannès instead of Courtney Vandersloot for a good couple of chunks of minutes in the game. I wished Marine would have played more. One, because she just lit it up in that last game, and I was looking forward to watching her play a little bit more and see if the Liberty strategy would change a little bit, but clearly it didn't. So it is what it is. But I would have loved to see her play. Also, Han Shu for the second game in a row didn't play. I'm a big fan of Han Shu. It just seems like I actually don't know the backstory. I'm not sure if there's an issue going on with Han Shu, why she didn't play. But I like Han Shu. She doesn't seem to get as much minutes as she probably would on another team. So I just want to point that out. I'm rambling because I'm pretty tired, but overall, I thought the New York Liberty didn't do much. Again, Sabrina and Betnijah handled business. Stewie was a non-factor. She was 3 for 5 from the field. Finished the game with 13 points. She had 7 rebounds, 4 assists. And she just, I don't know. It like, as I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the Aces defense, they just frustrated her. They just frustrated her, and she was upset a little bit because she wasn't getting some of the calls that she wanted. But in times where your number one player Stewie is not playing as well, you need other people to step up. And yes, Sabrina stepped up. Yes, Betnijah stepped up, but no one else really stepped up. Jonquel was okay. She was 8 for 8. She had 8 points, 8 rebounds. She was okay, but she wasn't a big factor, not really. And with the Aces, it was a lot more balance. You had Jackie Young with 16. You had A'ja Wilson with 21. You had Kelsey Plum with 18. You had Chelsea Gray with 22. Kiah Stokes didn't score, but Kiah Stokes was really solid on defense. And I thought she did a really good job because she didn't have to score. And yeah, I don't know. That's the video. The last game for the New York Liberty was all about the 3-ball and bench production. This game, the bench didn't do much at all. You had Marine Johannès, she had 6. Stefanie Dolson had 3. So not much in terms of bench production. Yes, the Aces didn't do much in terms of bench production offensively. But Alysha Clark was huge on the defensive end. And the Aces bench still did outscore the New York Liberty's bench. Alysha Clark had 5, Kierstan Bell had 4, Cayla George had 2, and so they outscored the New York Liberty's bench. So yeah, the New York Liberty, they did have 3s. I think they could have had more 3s had they decided to play Marine Johannès more. But, it is what it is. I have no dog in the fight. So even though I thought the New York Liberty were going to win, I don't actually care that the Las Vegas Aces won. I just love that it was a really good basketball game from start to finish. While it felt like the Aces kind of had their foot on the gas most of the game, There were moments where, especially in the third quarter, where the New York Liberty and the Aces were going back and forth, back and forth. It was really a chess match in this for a good amount of this game, and I loved it. I was a huge fan of it. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to me ramble. All right, what do y'all think about the rest of the games that are left in the season? We have, I think, 3 weeks to go before the season's over. Where do you think ultimately the Aces and Liberty will fall? Do you think they'll just stay at 1 and 2? Also, predictions about when the Aces go to New York and play the Liberty again. Who do you think is going to come out on top? Yeah, that's the video, guys. What y'all think about the game? Let me know in the comments below. Also, the commentators were much better in this game. Carolyn Peck and it sucks, I can't remember the other lady's name, but I love watching the Aces broadcast. Like, I just think they do a great job. The player profiles, these sort of like random details that they give about players and about stuff that's happening on the court. I just love it. I think they're a phenomenal team, a phenomenal commentating team. So yeah, much improved from the Commissioner's Cup game. I kind of wish they would have just did the commenting for the game, but I guess I kind of understand why, because they're the Aces broadcast, and probably the WNBA wanted to be a little bit more fair for the Commissioner's Cup, but I think they could have just had them to do the Commissioner's Cup. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. If you haven't liked this video already, please like it. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. I make videos about women's basketball. I don't always do game recaps, but occasionally I'll do it. If you all have suggestions about games you want me to do recaps for, let me know in the comments below. Thank y'all so much for watching. Until next time, guys, this is your sports loving friend signing off. Bye, guys.